Hello and welcome to the Guitar Collection. Well, what do we have here? We've got a guitar from a guitar maker that is making guitar players and guitar makers absolutely lose their minds. This, of course, is an instrument made by the German luthier Jakob Lebisch. Now, I can guarantee you, if you haven't heard this luthier's name, you will begin to hear his name more and more often. Many people are touting him as the new Dammann, the new Matthias Dammann. Now, I like to stay away from these types of buzzwords, but it is hard to ignore not only the sound characteristic influence of Dammann in Jakob's guitars, but also the ingenuity in both the design and the aesthetic design, and also the sound that came along with Matthias's invention of the double top. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is in some ways it feels like these guitars that I've had the chance to play of Jakob Lebisch's are taking the baton of Matthias Dammann and running with it in his own beautiful direction. And this guitar is from the year 2022. It is a spruce double top of his with Nomex in the in-between layer, a 7-fan bracing design, and all sorts of details that I find both intriguing and incredibly beautiful. Now, we are going to be talking about the sound. It's so important and it's so interesting on this guitar. But I want to just start out with the top, which is just bizarre and beautiful. Now, starting with the rosette of this guitar, it is one of my personal all-time favorites for rosettes. It is somehow distinctive from a distance and close to the guitar in the way of these, what I believe to be metal little stars going around the interior motif of this guitar. And while that's so distinctive, it is still such a minimal and classic design with these simple rings, this beautiful red wood on the outside, and then what appears to me to be ebony in the central ring. It's just so simple, so distinctive, so beautiful. I mean, I really love it. I really love it. And then you'll see those same stars here. Also, one placed right in the center of the tie block of this bridge, which is just absolutely black. It's impossible to tell what the wood is. And, Jakob is known for being quite the painter, for what it's worth, for not only his tops, but different pieces of wood on his guitars as well as the back and sides. And while a cedar guitar I have of his it has also a little star up here that's taken from the rosette. This one does not. We'll talk about the head in just a moment. But, okay, so like I said, it's a 7-fan bracing design, extremely lightweight. It has to be around 1,200 grams, a little bit over 1,200 grams. It has a raised fingerboard slight here. It has an incredibly beautiful pal ferro back and sides that's also darkened with this sapwood right in the center. The back has an arch to it. It's very interesting, very comfortable. And I imagine it has to do with the sound of this guitar. The heel here, as you'll see, is very similar to Matthias Dammann's heel. How it's very carved away, very thin. This is a Matthias Dammann from 2009 that I'm comparing it to here next to me. And then beyond that, the shape of the neck, very round, a little bit towards the D shape. Very wide, also similar to Matthias Dammann's necks, which are like 54 millimeters often. This is very wide, but extremely comfortable. A very low action, an incredible sustain to make it even feel easier than it is. And overall, extremely easy to play. Moving on to the head of the guitar, you'll see there's a very dark, what appears to be like an ebony veneer, with his own distinctive head design that has different layers to it that's really beautiful. And then topped off with just such a cool, sleek choice of a Scheller tuning machines here with the black base plates, the normal gears here, and then these what appear to be ebony buttons. I mean, just such a classy, cool guitar. I mean, just a huge fan of this instrument. And then when it comes to the sound of this guitar, the power is nearly unmatched. And I know it's hard to hear over microphones without you being in the same room with me here, but along with Lebisch, there's maybe only a couple of other makers I'd give my 2009 Matthias Dammann guitar a run for its money in terms of sheer power. And I don't mean just in first position. I also mean up here in ninth position. And not just with chords. Also with these scales in every position. It's a very exciting guitar to play. And all of these factors I've talked about so far are just a couple of the reasons why Jakob's waitlist is more than 10 years now. He's flooded with orders from professionals to collectors to players. Word is spreading very fast about his instruments. And it still kind of surprises me sometimes when I mention this name to other people and they say, oh, no, I haven't heard of that name before. Who's that? Trust me, that will be changing soon as more people just get to play a single chord on these instruments. So beyond the power, because sometimes guitars can be a one-trick pony. This is also an extremely sensitive and responsive instrument. It's worth noting that the main air resonance is an E on this guitar. So it's a very low sound, very dark and deep basses. But it does not suffer in the treble department. It is singing. And that 6-string E is so powerful, it makes you think you're in drop D. I'm almost going to be playing here where it would make a D major chord, but I'm here. Now, this is not a guitar that will make you feel cozy and just absolutely fill the room with overtones and cover up all of your mistakes. No, it will highlight every mistake you make. It's very similar in that way to Matthias Dammann, Michel Bruck, and some of these other makers. It will highlight those flaws. But I really believe it. This is one of those guitars that would make you a better player. Because it makes you take a closer look at your sound. And as I play in some of these areas of the guitar, it's also worth mentioning the sustain won't be as perfect as, let's say, a less powerful and less responsive double top out there. And some people might want to make that trade-off and others won't. For some people, sustain is the absolute top priority. That's not the case with me and many other people, but it's worth mentioning because there are some notes like F sharp, which when you let all the other strings ring sympathetically, you get absolutely enough. But if you were to mute the other strings, the note does die pretty fast, along with A. But you know, this is the type of thing that happens, and when you're in a concert hall, that's not something you notice as much. You don't feel as exposed as you would in a smaller room. But let's cover some of the really rich tonal palette of this guitar. You know, some guitars make you feel so shallow. Some double tops and some lattice-based guitars make you feel like you're making very loud sound, but not very rich sound. And that's something that comes from some of the best traditional guitars. So a lot of times you feel that's missing in double top guitars. I don't feel like it's missing in this one. Hopefully you feel that too. You'll have to let me know. Let's try a little bit of drop D on this guitar. Something like Capricho árabe by Tárrega. Feels profound. I mean, when you are digging through the sounds of this guitar, you feel like you're on the absolute precipice of classical guitar making and classical guitar sounds. It's so rich, so clear. And you feel that all the notes are right there on the surface for you to grab, without sacrificing that depth. Like that. Wow. Let's try Prelude 11 by Tárrega. Well, it is not every day that I get on a guitar that is this exciting and this promising. So I hope you've enjoyed this review. A huge congratulations to Jakob for building not only a beautiful instrument to look at, but to listen to, and also a guitar that can just keep you occupied playing it for hours and hours and hours. I very rarely have a Jakob Lebisch guitar to offer, so please write to me if you're interested in one of these guitars. I do have them in every now and then from time to time. You can view this guitar at guitarcollection.com. You'll see a full album of beautiful photos. You'll see a description for the guitar as well. And there's lots of really great instruments available right now on the site. So if you are interested in any of those, always feel free to write to me at evan@guitarcollection.com. You'll also see a place to put your email to subscribe to the website, basically, so that you're notified before new instruments become available, as well as any other exciting updates. But wow, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to play a couple of other little passages for you on this Jakob Lebisch guitar. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video. you.